Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I've been trying to do this video, I think twice. This is my third attempt, and I'm just going over kind of a mid-year check-in on like my reading goals that I made in January, and kind of showing where my reading's going or what do I need to kind of step up on. So every time I do this, I forget some stat or something that I want to talk about, and then I'm like, I forgot. Anyway, so let's hope this time will work and I can put this up. So I did make a few reading goals back in January, so I'm just kind of going to go through each one and then and how it's going, and then I have some stats at the end of some of the things that I track. So so my first thing is I always put 50 or 52 goals for Goodreads. I always do 50 usually just to make sure I make it. I put 52 this year because I read so much last year. I thought, well, let's do one a week. That's a good number, and I really like that. So on that, I'm doing really well. I've read 43 books through the end of June. So again, I know we're closer to the end of July by now, but I'm going from the end of June. So in that 6 months, I'd read 43 books. And that was pretty good. I thought that was good. So I'm doing really good on my my Goodreads goal. I'm not upping it. It's just going to stay at 52, and I surpass it, and that's all we're going to do about it. So then my other thing is goal is always one that I have had for years, is that I want to average 50 pages a day every month. So I keep track of how many pages I read, and then it totals up at the bottom of my spreadsheet that says this is how many pages I've read, and then how much that averages out to a day. So I did really well on that, and so that was one of the stats that I messed up last time. So for like, I read a total of 13,335 pages in those 6 months, and so that averages out to 73.7 pages a day. So I think that's really good, because there are days where I read nothing, and there are days that I read 200, 300 pages. It just mattered on what day it was and what book I was reading, probably. But to me, 73 pages, a little over 73 pages a day is really excellent. And again, it's above my 50 pages a day average that I want. So I am doing good so far on the average. Then my third goal was to clean off my Goodreads currently reading list, because I had like 20 books on there, and a lot of them I had abandoned over the last year or two. So I went through and deleted everything, or either moved to want to read, or I completely took off because I DNF'd. So I just decided I'm never going back to that book. And so I did come down to 3 books that I left from 2017, and of those 3 I've only read 1 of them though. So I still have 2 that are outstanding that I do want to, one of them I'm going to try one more time, and if I don't like it, I'm DNFing. And then the other one is a fantasy book that I got halfway through and I really should finish, and I hear so many good things about it, but I just haven't done it. So anyway, it's still on my list for that reason, is because I do want to finish that one. So as I said, I've knocked everything else off, and so now everything that's on my list is mostly ones I know about. So, oh, I take it back, there were 2 fantasy books. Anyway, so yeah, so no, then it must have been 4. Sorry, I wrote down wrong, damn it. Another one I messed up on. Anyway, so I've had a weird month this month that I've started some books and not finished. So of course my list has grown a little bit, but I will work on it, really. And the next thing I said I would do was a culling of my books and go through and get rid of a lot of stuff. And I got rid of quite a few books. I got rid of over 40 books, probably 30, 40 books, and I took them to try to get money for them. And then I donated the rest of them. And then I put aside probably another 30 that I put away that I haven't decided if I want to get rid of or not. But I'm kind of deciding those are probably going to go, since I haven't really thought of them. There's only one book that I've looked for that if it's still here, I'm going to pull it back out. But everything else I can probably get rid of. So those are probably I'm probably going to have another cull. I've done a little bit of one. I got rid of some stuff that I just decided I wasn't going to read. And there's a couple other ones I want to probably do. So I'm still working on that. I just need to do it probably every 6 months, just go through and just pull out a lot of stuff that I'm like, I'm never going to read that, or I don't like it enough to keep it. So I did bring up in my thing that I use my library too much, and I love my library. I do. I do love my library. Problem is I bought so many books the last year that I really should focus on my own books. I mean, I'll still go to the library. I'll still get certain books from the library, but I shouldn't be getting out as many things and reading those rather than the books I own. So I said I wanted to do 80-20 kind of percentage. No, I'm not at that. My percentage is 32.5% are coming from the library that I read. So as much as that's a great number, I think, I mean, once I get I get a lot more books read, maybe I'll like to be that high or even up to, more than that. But I've bought a lot of books. I really need to read what I have here. So I'm hoping in the end of the year, towards the end of the year, I will get it back down to the 20%. As I said, I still want to use my library. I'm still going to use my library, but I need to back off on how much stuff I get from there. Because I get a lot of stuff that I don't need to read right now. I can always hold off because I have books that are physically here that I want to read that I've already paid money for. So, as I said, it's not... I just need to do a little bit better. So, on that. Let's see here. So, I told... The next one, I had said that I'd have a no-buy books for January and February, and I failed miserably. I mean, I spent more money in January than I did any other month on books so far this year. So that tells you what happens when I try to tell myself no buy. So that didn't work, and it's not going to work. So I have officially said I'm never going to say no books, because it's just not going to happen. Now I am going to try in this end of the year to cut back on how much I'm spending on books, because I have spent quite a bit of money, and I just realized I just figured out how much money I'd spent, and wow, I've spent a lot of money this year. So I need to curb it, but I'm never gonna say book ban, not ever again. Like, it just doesn't work for me. And then I had a couple of BookTube channel ones. Like, I talked about being more consistent, because I felt last year I was kind of all across the board. Because I would do stuff in the beginning of the month and the end of the month, but the middle, there was just nothing for me to do, and I didn't know what to do in the middle. So I think by switching up my channel to having weekly reading updates, which means I do a video on Sundays, and it's almost always, I mean, so far I've kept to that. It's usually Sunday mornings are the best for me to film, so that works out really well. So right now I'm keeping to that schedule, and to me that's constant content. So at least I'm at least a video a week, if not two. So I'm doing pretty good with that. I did say I wanted to do more vlogging. I have done a few months of vlogging that month, reading month. I think I did April. I don't know. I did one of the months earlier, and then I'm doing July right now, so that's kind of fun. I might do November again for NaNoWriMo. I'm not sure yet how I feel about that. We'll have to see, but I do like vlogging, and I do like doing it for readathons and stuff, because I'm horrible at them. It's just fun. And then I also talked about Manuscript Monday, and I did kind of drop this a couple months ago because I'm just not writing enough, and I am getting better. I am writing a little bit more, but I'm still not consistent, and I'm still working on that. So until I'm more consistent and I'm actually working on one manuscript, I think I'm gonna just back off on that for right now and not focus too much on that, because it was stressing me out, because every week I would say kind of the same thing that I was not really doing a whole lot. So and I don't know what that last question I think I wrote on here says. Okay, so I'm going to get into some stats, but I do want to bring up again, a little caveat. So I do not count graphic novels or manga in any of my stats, just as a heads up. I never have, and I never will. That's just the way I work, with considering books, and writing. I guess it's not that I don't think that they're reading. I just don't, to me, those don't count, because they're different from the stats I want to keep for my novel writing, or I don't know. I never count those pages. It's just, I never have, and I just don't want to start. So I do read graphic novels and I do read manga here and there. I just don't count them. So those are not included in any of my stats. So rereads. So I know this is kind of one of those things, everybody has their own way of counting rereads. My rereads, I'm going to talk about how many rereads I had, which was quite a bit, but only 5 of them counted. I think it's 5. Because I only count, if it's something I read in the last 10 years, I don't get to count it again. I don't count that I read it, and I don't count that, I don't count the pages, like when I'm making my numbers. So a lot of the rereads here don't count towards anything. They're just, those days I just spent rereading a book that I loved, and I don't count those pages. So, now if I come to a book and I don't remember anything about it and it's been within the 10 years, then yeah, I'll count those pages. But most of the time I figure within the 10 years, I usually remember quite a bit of the book, so it doesn't count to me. And again, this is my arbitrary way of doing it. So just so you understand, it's just kind of weird. So as I said, I've read from January to the end of June, I read 43 books that I count, but 17 books I also reread during that same period, and only 5 of them did I count towards the 43. Does that make sense? So 38 books were new to me books, but 5 of them were books that I read over 10 years ago. Some of them were over 20 years ago. So, I mean, I don't remember practically anything about them, so that's why they count. So that's kind of, I was amazed at how much rereading I do. When I saw that number 17, I was kind of, some of those were audiobooks. How did I say it? I had four audiobooks were rereads. So a lot of times with my audiobooks, I will listen to something that I've read before, either because I want to continue in a series, or I want to listen to the series rather than reread it because I'm doing other stuff. So I do have quite a few of those are audio. So I didn't do very good with my ebooks. I've only read 4 ebooks so far this year. That's kind of sad. I haven't bought a lot, luckily. I mean, I don't really talk about my Kindle buys, which I probably should, but I don't buy that much. It's just, or my Audible early. Maybe I should do a thing on that. Anyway, point is that I've only read 4 books off of my e-reader, and I probably should do a little bit more than that because I do have a lot of stuff on there. Sorry. Damn it. Sorry. I'm gonna cough and die. So, and then the only other thing is my DNFs. Sorry. I have DNF 9 books in those first 6 months. And I have gotten better at actually just DNFing. I've always DNF books, but usually I just leave them lingering on my currently reading list on Goodreads and just put it aside and just never pick it up again. But 9 books, sorry, I definitely DNF'd, and I'm not going back to them. So, I mean, I don't know, percentage-wise that's not great, but you know, it happens. I think you just have to get where if you don't like a book, you don't waste the time on it. So I guess I don't have a problem DNFing. And then just in case you guys want to know, my writing has been really bad. In the 6 months, I averaged about 127 words a day, which is so sad. I used to write so much more. In that 6 month period, I only wrote just under 23,000 words, and they were on multiple projects. So it is definitely something I want to do better in the next 6 months. I know NaNoWriMo in November will definitely help that because I'll write 50,000 for sure in that month, because I always do, unless I have iritis and I can't see. But other than that, so I am going to work on that. And then the only other thing I wanted to, sorry, oh, that was stupid. I kind of leaned over, sorry guys, is I have a list of 15 books that I was hoping, or 30 books that I was hoping to get to this year. Now, this was a little ambitious, and next year I'm definitely not doing 10 nonfiction books and 10 fiction books and 10 classics that I want to do. I want to definitely go to 5 because I'm not doing so hot. So in the nonfiction, I've only finished one that was on this list, and I have one that's in progress, which I'm almost done with. So I'll have two, but still not, it's not that good. So there's no way I'm going to hit all these. I mean, Nonfiction November will help probably knock out a few of these, but I don't think I'm going to hit all 10. The fiction books are the same. I have DNF'd one, and I've read 2 earlier this year, and then I haven't touched any of the rest of these. So I still have 7 that I need to get done. So there's potential there, but not too bad. And then my classics are kind of the same, a little bit better. They're actually, I'm doing better here, which is kind of funny, is I've read 3 so far. I'm in the middle of 1, and then, so that means I have 6 that are outstanding. So, yeah, I kind of looked at some of these. One of these I might switch out. Like I had one Charles Dickens on here that, because I'm doing like a read along over 18 months on another one, I might just count that as my one. But other than that, I mean, a lot of these classics I'm still hoping to hit, but I still don't think I'm gonna hit all 10. So I'm not doing so good on this one. I definitely was over ambitious by giving myself 10 of each. So next time I'm definitely gonna only put in 5. So I already put a note to myself for next year. You only can do 5 on each. And I might actually have another 5 one. I don't know. I'll have to see what I want to do. We'll see. That's a long ways away. Anyway, so that is all my weird stats and my goals, where I'm at on them. I don't know if this made sense at all. I don't know if this video is any better than the last one, but I got through it. So anyway, how did you guys do in the first 6 months? Are you guys on track? Is there anything you guys think I should add to this, that like a stat that you would like to know? I just did these ones. There's probably some more that I could do with like female to male and all that stuff, but I want to do those more at the end of the year because I wasn't ready to do it right now. So anyway, but if you guys have suggestions, I will definitely write them down and do them later. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.